Welcome back to Blue Collar Coder. I'm Jack Harrington, and today is another in our Tech A Day series. And today we're going to look at RxJS, which is a way of creating observable data in your JavaScript applications. Now, Rx is a standard that actually goes across multiple languages and environments. We're going to look at RxJS, but in learning Rx on JS, you may be able to transport that knowledge into other frameworks, and that's really cool too. So, without further ado, let's just jump right into the code. Okay, so before I start, as with all the Tech A Day videos, they're really just about getting you interested and excited in the topic, and they leave it up to you to really dig in, very heavily. And I think when it comes to RxJS, that's really critical because RxJS is a huge toolkit. Let's zip over to getting started, and they've got this introduction, and it says, think of RxJS as Lodash for events. And that's really true. And I mention it because, well, one, it's a great way to think about it. And two, it's a very deep and complex topic. In fact, I just went on Amazon and there are like 6 different books for just RxJS. So I'm not going to get to all of it in this video. Suffice to say, it is like RxJS for events. Actually, I would maybe make that more generic. It's like RxJS for streams of data. So we're just going to take a look at 3 different potential streams of data. And we're going to use Quokka, that cool little tool I've been using in a bunch of these videos, to basically just try it out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a movies.js file, and we're going to have a stream of movies. So we're going to bring in RxJS, and I'm going to bring in subject from RxJS. Now, subject is essentially a topic, a channel, right? So we're going to stream events, or in this case, movie data, into a subject. We're going to call that subject movies. And we're going to subscribe to it. Just have to say movies.subscribe. And you'll get back, and you get a callback. And that callback gives you the data as it comes in. All right, now that I've done the subscribe, we can start adding events into movies. And all you need to do is just call next and give it the data you want. And that data could be a string, it could be a number, or in this case, it could be an object. So now we're going to add some movies. We're going to add The Princess Bride, the best movie. And then after that, The Hobbit. And we're going to give them a genre, Hobbits and fantasy, and alien, of course, science fiction, or horror, I guess. I don't know. Horror, science fiction. Now, another thing you can do is you can bring in some additional operators. So in this case, I'm going to bring in the filter operator. Again, think of it like Lodash, but for streams. So now we're going to use that filter in combination with a pipe to create a new subject that only has science fiction movies in it. And interestingly, we're not getting any events. So why is that? Well, the semantics of a subject are this. You only get events after you subscribe. And I know that seems like, oh, yeah, of course that's true. But, you will see in a second that's not true with all of the different types of subjects. So if we move that sci-fi up, then now we start getting the events. And we can start doing some more things. So I'm going to chain onto that pipe an additional map. And that map is just going to convert that movie into just a single integer, where that integer is the number of years old the movie is. So we're going to find out how old Alien is. Turns out it's 41 years old. Oh, it's aged well. Okay. All right, so let's try another thing. Let's try a chat log. That's another cool example of a stream. So in this case, we're going to use a replay subject. I'll show you why that's important in a second. Let's create it. And now we're just going to add in a chat. That chat has a person and a message, and we're going to subscribe to it. In this case, the message is going to come from me, but there's a person named Jane who's listening. So we're going to console log Jane along with my message, and that's going to be the things that Jane would see. So now we'll have Jane send a message. What's up? And I'm going to reply, RxJS, Tech A Day. And now I'm going to subscribe, and I'm going to see my point of view. So I've got 2 subscribers on chat log. And what would we expect? Well, we'd expect that in the case of Jane, she would see her comment and my comment, and I wouldn't see anything because of the nature of being subscribed in the locations where they are in the flow. But A replay log semantics is that the replay log holds all of the events, and then when you subscribe, you get all of those held events and any new additional events. So we get both, which is nice. All right, so let's try a different cool thing. In this case, let's try a partition. So a partition allows you to actually split a channel. So we're going to partition the replay subject, chat log, by who sent the message. And it's either one or another new channel. So in this case, if it's true, it's going to go to my messages, and it's false, it's going to go to other messages. And the criteria is whether it matches me. So if it matches me, it's going to go to my messages. If it doesn't match me, it's going to go to other messages. And then we can subscribe to that, and we can see that if we remove the other subscribers, and now it's just looking at that, I can now see my message, or I can see the other messages. Pretty clean. And as I say, you can chain all this stuff together. Think about RxJS as a toolkit. Again, like Lodash, but for events or streams, whichever way you like it. All right, let's do one more thing. Let's try out cart count. In this case, we're going to use a different type of subject. This one's going to be a behavior subject. So a behavior subject starts off with a value. So we're going to set the cart count to 0. And coolly, you can get is coolly a word? I don't know. And in this very cool way, you can go get the current cart count value. And you can also set it using next and get it again. And you can subscribe to it and then get, as you would, the changes. So let's just take a look at what else is out there. Here's pairs. You give it a subject of an object, and it's going to break up the key and value into pairs and then send those arrays out as a stream. Here's a merge. You can actually merge two subjects together into one subject. Here's another cool one, interval, and that basically gives you an interval timer as a subject. Here's range. You can get a range of values as a subject. And as I said early on, there's 6 books worth of material here for you to go through. If this is interesting to you, I think actually modeling the world as events is very interesting. So it's interesting to me. Then RxJS is probably interesting to you. So jump right in. All right, well, if you like this very brief intro to RxJS, be sure to click on that like button. If you're interested in videos like this, just hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and you'll be notified when new videos show up. And in the meantime, be happy, be healthy, and be safe. Coolly, I guess.